Hello everybody, Jess here from 3D Learning Experts, and you're listening to the Learning Disabilities Experts podcast, the show for busy parents who want to help their kids with learning disabilities, or as I like to say, learning differences, go from surviving to thriving. And today we've got our friend Donna Dunn here again to talk about peace for parents through organization. And Donna Dunn spoke last week about Serenity for students, and she is an expert in helping parents get organized virtually. Welcome again. Welcome back, Donna.
Thank you, Jess, for having me back again so soon.
Yeah, well, it was so great to have you share some tips for students. And as I mentioned last week, very often parents have the same challenges with organization that our students do because dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia are hereditary. So I've actually worked with a couple of parents who they have a really hard time with getting organized on just setting up the computer and getting their learners started with tutoring. And so if you have some tips on how they can organize their schedules best so that they stay on top of things, or some other tips for parents, that would be great.
Sure. One of the things I did actually for the pandemic is I helped parents set up their offices because they weren't going anywhere. And they also had set up for kids going to school at home. So it became a fun thing. And I did have to do all that virtually because obviously we couldn't go anywhere. So one of the things I taught them to do was find the spot you want to be in. Find your spot, because this is where you're going to spend hours for the day. You're not going to leave the house to go anywhere. And when you're done with work, you're going to still be in this house. So let's make sure it's a nice spot you're going to be in and make it comfortable for you. So what do you need in that spot? You need your computer. You need some writing utensils. You need maybe paper or whatever it is, some books, whatever you need. Have it spaced right in front of you so it's at easy reach for you to do, and also that it's easy to be picked up and moved if you have to. So if one person was using the kitchen table, one was using the dining room table, they did not have an office. And the way they did it is they wanted to eat, someone had to move stuff after part of the day. So we came up with either using a tray, using a cart, whatever it is they could, or a crate to put the stuff in, store it to the side. So what I had them do is organize your paperwork in the way you needed it. Put a color folder, what it fixes in your head that means the early part of the day, middle part of the day. Make a list so you know what you want to do and what you need to do, and keep the things in that order so you see it. If you use Post-its help them a lot and helps people think about it. If you're having a problem with wording, go by a color. What color is with you? And a color is my thing for a lot of things, for children and for adults, because it's something that is universal. Everybody can figure out a color that they want to do, unless they're colorblind. And again, we figure that system out by pictures. But if it's a color saying, start the day off, it's a sunny day. Yellow is your beginning part of the day. Midway through the day, you need a little energy. Oh, you need that red, because red's saying, oh, I need some energy. I'm fired up. I'm getting going. Let me move on. And then blue, by the end of the day, I'm getting tired. I'm getting close to the end of the day. Here it is. So you know that you need to get to those points. It helped a lot of my parents get that way. It helped them figure out where they were going in their office, on their shelves. We use the tiers, the silver tier kind of things, wire tiers. And they use before and after kind of thing for them. So they know this is this level, and this, and made it easy for them to organize their space.
And I know you have a picture. Does your picture happen to revolve around what you're talking about?
This actually had to do with, it was a play area, it was a family area, and it ended up becoming junk here. So we had to clean it out so they could use it. If you'll notice in the before picture, do you see any metal racks, any shelving? It's like cluttered, you don't see it anywhere. Where in the after picture, you will notice that the table is set, but in the background is where they put their things that they needed. So one person had it on one side, one person had the other, that they could stick the things they needed for the day. And the kids, if they needed to do their schooling, could use that table. The puzzle came off, and they could use the table to do whatever they wanted because it was then set, and there's a shelving unit set up for them to say, all right, let's take these items here, put it here for now. School starts in the morning, we'll bring it back over at that point and give them a space that they could either do their schoolwork or do their office work if they needed to. It was cleaning out all the stuff that didn't make sense to them and utilizing the cabinet on the wall, which has been a bunch of junk was in it, and she couldn't understand why she had that stuff in it. And I said, well, let's utilize it. So she stored supplies for the classroom, for the office, staples, glue, whatever it is they needed was in there so someone could use it when they needed to use it.
Now, did you move the dressers that are underneath the cabinet in the before picture?
Yes, I moved them to the outside because they did not need to be in that space. It was becoming too crowded, and there was no peace or serenity in that space. It was just felt like they were closed in. So we moved them to the, if you're looking at the last chair facing us, it's against that wall now, and in there were the paperwork that they needed. If they needed, the copier was on top of that. So copy paper was over in that drawer. Files were in there, envelopes and things like that were over in the drawers in that section. So it made space for them to feel around the table. They weren't feeling like they were being closed in. You have to worry about where your spacing is. Are you feeling that negative energy around you, or are you feeling positive energy? We're open for positive energy.
And did you do this virtually or did you do this in person?
This one wasn't actually in person because I was able to be at this person at that point. But I have done this with virtual people also, and we just did the same thing. What they do is they use their computer or their phone, and we zoom in, and I talk them through the whole process, and we say, what do you need here? What do you need? Show me the space first, and then we'll work our way around it. And I'm able to help basically within a half an hour to an hour of making sections big enough for everybody to have the space they need, and making sure that they can maneuver it off and then put it back when you need it. So that if that's your dinner table, you need to be able to have dinner at that table, and you can go to without a problem, and it doesn't like you're crowded or anything else.
So, when someone's working on a puzzle, I mean, do they have to take apart the puzzle or
There is, you can't see it really well. There is a mat underneath. That's a clear mat. What we do is we rolled it up. So all you do is roll it up, and then you unroll it, and the puzzle goes right back to the same spot.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. All right. And so, do you have any tips for parents who they're not very good at managing their time?
Do something, and I always try making it a game. You know how commercials come on, and nobody wants to watch a commercial. Well, instead of flipping it, what can you do in that few seconds of a commercial? It's usually a 2-minute commercial. You can do so many things in that time. You can organize your paperwork in that time. You can shred stuff during that time. You can do all the different things that you want quickly and at that point. Simply just saying, okay, I have a short amount of time. Set your day up early in the morning. What do you want to do first thing in the morning? What do you need to get done before the day starts? And go from there. Don't overpower yourself. Like, keep yourself in small amounts. If you don't really want to be in small amounts, in large amounts, if that's not your thing, do it 15-minute increments. Don't do more than a half an hour. If you really can't focus longer than a half an hour, don't do it because you'll stretch yourself out and you will undo what you just did because you're frustrated.
Wow. Yeah, that's great advice. Sometimes in our society, we just try to push through things, and then we're less effective.
And that's the worst part, because there's certain things you cannot push through. It's not urgent. If it was a medical emergency, yes, of course, but it's not. It's your sanity is more important. And to do that, you need to have that peace while you're doing it. And if you're feeling frustrated, you're not going to make the decisions that are going to make you happy. You're just going to make a bigger mess instead of making it an easier thing for you. And you don't want that.
That's great. Great advice. And do you have any other final tips for parents?
Listen to your innards. Your soul will tell you really if you're feeling at peace. If when you're walking into your house and you do not find that you're at peace, it's just crazy, find that spot you want to be. If it's a chair or an area, go clean that out. Make sure it is as neat as possible so you can go in and unwind. Make sure you have a place to unwind. It really is important. Even if the rest of your house is crazy, maybe that chair is where you can sing, you can scream, you can pray, you can meditate, listen to music, whatever it is for 10, 15 minutes and unwind. It'll help you with the rest of your day, with whatever else you have going on. Just get that moment when you need it.
Awesome. Thank you. And Donna, what's the best way for people to reach you for virtual organizational help?
Well, I have a website, and it is www.donna's with an S, a place for everything.com. Also, I have a electronic business card, which is https double dots backslash and then it's tinyurl.com /Donna organizer, and that'll get you to my website. It will get you to making emails to me, a phone call to me, anything you want to do to get to me. But my phone number is 610-360-0524. And I'm on the East Coast, so it doesn't matter when you call.
Yeah, you're a late, you stay up late, don't you?
I do. And if I'm not going to answer the phone, I will hear your voicemail and I will call you back.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Donna, for being our special guest for 2 weeks in a row so that we can help our learners and our parents learn how to be a little bit more organized and have some peace and serenity.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.